we have Levitra for you. I think you're going to be fine. No, really, doc, I'm serious. I can't get an erection. Take Levitra. It works. I'm sure it does, doc, but stop screwing with me. What's causing my problem? And sometimes they know, sometimes they don't, but it's just not what they do. It's not part of the, standard of care, right? It's part of the capitalistic pharmacy, the capitalistic giant pharmaceutical corporations that, they don't want you to understand what's really going on. Because then when they try to get you to inject yourself with poisons, which they're doing by law in this state and most other states, when they do that, you're going to know, oh yeah, no, I don't think so. No, but no, people are just like, oh yes, we're going to get injected with poisons because we know it's right. Because we've heard the same lie over and over and over again for so many, probably more than a century, that we believe the lies now. Actually, it's been less than a century. It's only been like maybe 80 or 90 years. But anyway, that was like I was speaking off of a, what do they call it, soapbox or something? Okay. The power that made the body can heal the body. The body heals itself. Okay. Nobody knows this unless they're involved in like holistic healthcare. Everybody's thinking that they need something else to heal their body. They need to go get the perfect potion, the perfect lotion, the perfect, it's like people even think there's a cigarette, or that there's like a pot, or that there's a CBD oil. I was watching this thing, oh my God. And this is like the perfect example of what I'm talking about. And it's okay if you're not following me, you can just interrupt me, which is easier. But there's this thing, and there's some girl, she's a little girl, like 5, 6, 8 years old, and she was having these really bad seizures, right? So then she was living in a state where they don't allow for cannabis. But somehow she went to another state. She went from Texas to Colorado where it's legal. She got the cannabis, she took it daily, her seizures were gone, no seizures. And they're saying, well, now that I have my cannabis, it's actually not a thing she smokes, it's like just a little thing she swallows, a little gel or something. Now that I have my cannabis, I'm fine, it worked, everything's great. My question is, what worked? Right, why does she have the seizures to begin with? And what is the cannabis I don't even care what the cannabis is she's taking. It's great that it works, but when can we get to the point where she doesn't need cannabis? When can we get to the actual cause of the seizures? Because we know that there's at least 3 causes if we're doing what I do, I assume everybody knows what I know, but I forget that, I have all this training and everything. So there's always going to be a chemical cause. A cannabinoid would definitely be a chemical, right? But there's also going to be an emotional component, and there's going to be a structural component. So there's going to be all 3 of these causes. And, what we eat, what we drink, what kind of air we breathe, what kind of, flu shots we got when we were a kid, what kind of antibiotics we've used, all those things make a difference when it comes to our health. But we're being taught that, there's nothing to worry about. Just go use Hauschka skincare, and since it's more natural, you should be fine. And, if you need to use a little bit of, Cetervel or whatever, if you need to use this kind of Vaseline-intensive skincare lotion, that's good for dry skin, just use it. But, these companies that sell these products are, they're multinational companies. They're manufacturing the product in another country, right? So they get a really good, anyway, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started about what's going on. But it's a business, right? If you don't buy that product, they go out of business. So most people have no idea as an American how much power they have when they just choose to purchase a certain thing or not to purchase a certain thing. We buy, our main buying decisions are based upon how we feel. We're not buying based upon, the effectiveness of the product or the need for the product. There's a little toy, it spins around, our son likes it, our son's 3 or 4 or 5. We get the toy, we want our son to be happy. But not thinking what's going to happen in a couple of years with this toy? What else could make our son happy? What else can we do with that money? And is that toy safe? Okay, I don't want to hear myself anymore. I don't know about you guys, but functional medicine gives your body what it needs by changing how resilient you are to the stresses of life. So let's get the body to actually heal itself. Let's not just talk about it. Tridefeld Family Healing Center is a functional medicine healing center. Cool. Okay, so this here is, this part really, not this part, but the next part requires huge amounts of participation. So just get ready to participate. I'm glad you all look like you're ready. Okay, good. So the autoimmune spectrum is just when things aren't bad enough to be full-blown autoimmune disease, right? Prescription medications are fine if you need them, as long as you're not stuck on them for the rest of your life, and as long as they're not causing the health problem that we're experiencing. So there's no one discrete category of diseases called autoimmune disease, which we're being told, some people are being told there is. It serves our purposes better here for our little workshop to call them autoimmune spectrum disorders, and we can also call the more severe ones that term, autoimmune disease. So at the high end of the spectrum are people with the autoimmune condition, the autoimmune disease. In the middle of the spectrum, they have a lot of symptoms. Maybe asthma, allergies, joint pain, muscle pain, fatigue, digestive issues. At the bottom of the spectrum are mild to moderately inflamed conditions like indigestion. How many people here, how does this sound? Let's try this. How many people in the room, including myself, haven't had one of these symptoms here? If you have not had one of these symptoms, raise your hand. If you have not had constipation, gas, diarrhea, bloating, acne, fatigue, depression, or minor, this could be, it could be hard to know if you've had that or not, but like sneezing, coughing.
All at the same time, too.
No, at any point in your life. Yeah. So yeah, we've all had something like that, right? Because our immune system's not always working right. Now with these slides, you just basically either raise your hands, don't worry, everything that happens at the autoimmune disease facts and myths, six simple solutions for easy recovery stays here at the workshop. Okay, so it's like Las Vegas, basically. We're not going to share your information with people as you leave. So raise your hand if you've had one of these symptoms. We're going to go through a bunch of these, so you'll have to do it quick. And then each time you raise your hand, mark it down on a piece of paper, just the number of times. You don't have to make detailed notes. Just like, so if you raise your hand just now, that's like, you put a little line. You put the 4 lines, hash mark, whatever. Okay. What about these eye symptoms? Swollen red eyelids, dark circles in your eyes, puffy eyes, poor vision, watery, itchy eyes, brain fog, poor memory, impaired coordination, difficulty deciding, slurred speech. Okay, learning attention deficit. Okay, what about nose symptoms? Nasal congestion, excessive mucus, stuffy runny nose, sinus problems, frequent sneezing. Okay, autoimmune spectrum, itchy ears, earaches, infections, drainage from the ear, ringing ears, hearing loss, inability to lose weight, food cravings, excess weight, inability to keep weight off after losing weight, insufficient weight, compulsive eating, water retention, swelling. Chronic cough, frequent throat clearing, sore throat. Sorry, go ahead.
Arm got tired.
No worries. You could use Jeff's arm. Swollen, just pinch him or something. He'll like, like raise his hand. Okay, swollen lips, canker sores. Okay. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, gas, bloating, belching, passing gas, heartburn, indigestion, intestinal stomach pain, or cramps. Come on, people.
We're working.
You've never had a little passing gas before?
Only if I eat
I like to
beans. I'm only.
Well, just that counts.
Does it
Yeah.
count?
Just participate with
But
the.
it doesn't mean that I'm discomforted by it.
We love you more because of this, not less. Don't let me get started with jokes. It just won't be good. Okay, just let me just leave it at that. But yeah, so try to
typical American
Diet.
symptoms.
symptoms. Yeah, it's okay if you're not raising. Try to raise your hand, but at least mark it on your sheet whether you're raising your hand or not. How many of you enjoy avocados? I like avocado. Guacamole? Okay. So I said you're the good kind of fat. Look at how sad he is. See?
That's cute.
Yeah. Okay. Irregular heartbeat, rapid heartbeat, chest pain, heart palpitations. This is the #1 cause of death in the United States, right? It's heart disease. So anybody have ever? Okay. Chest congestion. Now we got lung, chest congestion, bronchitis, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing. Okay. Anxiety, depression, mood swings, nervousness, irritability. Skin, acne, hives, eczema, dry skin, hair loss, hot flashes, excessive sweating. Autoimmune, energy, fatigue, lethargy, hyperactivity, restlessness. Okay. Joint pain or aches. This is joints and muscles. Arthritis, muscle stiffness, muscle pains and aches, weakness, tiredness. Okay. Frequent illness, infections. Frequent, urgent urination, genital itch, discharge, anal itch. So these are more having to do with the immune system. So okay, now look at what you wrote down on your little paper.